introduction of myself. I can see that. Now, my name is Mrs. Adeshola Oyinloye Undu. I am a director at Active Projector Limited. And Active Projector Limited, it's a training and consultancy outfit. I'm also a homeschool consultant and coach. So what that means is that we organize trainings for children. We also help parents to understand the way homeschooling works. In this time of COVID-19, most children learn from home. And we try to put parents through how to structure out the homeschooling exercises. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm an HR expert, and I'll tell you, I was a housewife for 13 years. So what that means is that I practically nurtured home learning of my children at some point, and it's been very rewarding. I mean, I have a daughter who is in the medical school at the moment, to the glory of God. And the last two sets of children finished their WAEC last year with 7 A's, which includes further maths. Now, like I always say, mathematics is something we do every day. And as such, mathematics should come naturally. The way we are taught in Nigeria, I schooled in Nigeria, I had my primary school in Nigeria, I had my secondary school and university in Nigeria before I had my master's outside the country. And that was the period we were raising the kids. The way we're taught in Nigeria, we're taught to cram. But I always say that mathematics should not be anything that we should cram. Rather, it should be a way of life that should go with us every day. Every day, everywhere is mathematics. And so people should not be afraid, should not be scared of mathematics. Mathematics will come naturally. When we were raising the kids, we normally, even in the kitchen, when I'm cooking, I teach them mathematics with what I'm cooking. Because you use ingredients. So like you use 2 cubes of Maggi, you say, oh yes, I'm using 2 cubes of Maggi and I'm using 5 grams of salt or something. So mathematics is an everyday thing. And we should see it as such. So today we want to start with fraction. Now, the reason why we decided to go with fraction is because it comes in almost everything that we do. And I realized that a lot of children find fraction very difficult. So the moment they are able to understand it in a fun way, it makes it easy for them. When we were teaching the children fraction when they were growing up, we used pizza. Is there anyone who knows and who likes pizza? Just raise up your hand or you unmute yourself and say, I like pizza. Who likes pizza? Okay, I can see.
I like pizza.
Okay, you can write it as well. Just tell me I like pizza. I can see hands raised up as well. So for anyone who likes pizza, this class also comes in handy. Who likes bread? Raise up your hand if you like bread. Yes, I can see your hand up. Or you write it. Just say I like bread. Okay, now, do we have our slices of bread here? Do we have 2 slices of bread each? Let me see your slices of bread. I have a slice here, for instance. I have a slice of bread. because we are going to use bread to learn fraction. This is a slice of bread. I hope we all have our slices of bread. Okay, I can see some. Please, if you can release your video so I can see your slices of bread. Yes, I can see some. That's nice. Now, for people, just to let us know, do we know what fractions look like? Have we seen something like this before? 1/2. Can we all see it? Can we see fraction, the way the fractions look?
Yes, ma'am, we can see. Yes, ma'am, we can see.
1/2, 2/3, 4/5. This is the way we have fractions. 1/2, 2/3, 4/5. Now, I'll tell you, the one on top is called the numerator, because that is what you work with. And the one below, like 1/2, the 2 there is the denominator, and that is everything that you have. So for instance now, let us learn 1/2. Learning 1/2 with this slice of bread. Learning 1/2 with this slice of bread, we are going to cut the bread into 2. We're going to cut the bread into 2. That's why I wanted an adult to be with the children. Please use your table knife, no kitchen knives. Use your table knife to cut the bread into 2. I'm going to do that for mine. If you have pizza and it's not yet cut, or you have slice of cake, you can slice it and also cut it into 2. So now I've cut my bread, you can see, into 2. And that's where fractions begin. So if I tell you, for instance, take out one of the halves, that one of it is called half, the other one is the other half. So if I say eat one, or take one of the slices away, what that means is that you have taken one and you have out of 2. So when you see 1/2, what they are trying to tell you is you have 1 out of 2 slices. So I have 1 now out of 2 slices, so it means 1/2. Do we understand? Is there anybody who does not understand this?
I understand.
Just raise up your hand, please, if you don't understand, and I'll go over it again. Mute your sets, please.
I understand.
Okay, that's fine. Now, so we have 2. We had the whole slice before, and we cut it into 2. So when I remove 1, I call it, this one that I'm holding becomes 1 out of 2 slices, two parts of the slice. Before I cut it, it was a whole slice, a big whole slice of bread. That was before I cut it. But now that I cut it, it becomes 1. I'm holding 1 out of 2 slices. What did I say? I'm holding 1 out of 2 parts of the slice. The whole part is called the whole slice. That's the whole full slice. And then when I cut it into two, I have two parts. So holding the two parts make a full slice. And if I remove one, it becomes, I'm holding one out of two. Do you remember the fraction, the way they write it, the way it's been written? As in 1/2. Can we see the 1/2? Just raise up your hand if you can see my 1/2. Okay, so before I cut it into two, it was a whole slice like this. Now I cut it into two, it means I have two parts of it. So now I have two parts, and if I take one part away, it means I have taken one part out of two parts, and that is why you have 1/2. Now we're going to cut these two again into another part, half part, so it becomes four equal parts. I'm going to cut it out now. So I've cut this into 4 parts. Can we see it? So learning fraction, if I want to say 1/4, as in I took away 1 out of the 4 slices. So if I take away this one, you can as well say that I ate 1 out of 4 slices, and that becomes 1/4. For instance, I ask you, how many parts have I eaten? You can as well say 1/4 because it was cut into 4 pieces. Now, if I ask you, can somebody now tell me how many parts is left? Please, raise up your hand. I'm asking a question now. I'm asking a question now. Only the person to answer will tell me, and I will call the person's name. So in fraction, if I tell you, we know everything was 4 before. 4 pieces, 4 parts. I've taken 1 away. If you want to tell me, you say, I took 1 out of 4. That's 1/4.
So it's 100.
Now, that's 1/4. So for me, I ask you, how many parts do I have left? I'm going to ask, who do I ask now? Simi Loluwa. How many parts do I have left? I cut this into 4. I cut a whole slice into 4 before. I took 1 out of it away, and I called it, I took 1/4 out. Now, how many parts do I have? Can Similoluwa tell me how many parts I have left? In terms of fraction. Okay, I think the connection is not so good. Let me take somebody else now. Somebody is raising their hand up. There's someone, Ayo. Ayo is raising his or her hand up. Do you want to tell me, in terms of fraction, how many parts I have left from this? I had 4. Okay, I can't hear. I can't hear from Ayo. Now, Toyin Fikayo. Yes, I can see you raise up your hand. How many I have left?
3.
3 over what?
3/4. 4. 3/4.
Because, I mean, like I said,
Okay, you can hear us.
Yes, I'm on mute. Now
She can't hear us. She can.
yes, I can hear you. The slices were 4 before. I took out 1. I call it 1/4. So I could say, oh, I've eaten 1/4 of the parts. Now, and I'm left with 3/4. So if I take another 1 away, so now what that means is that I had 4 parts. I had 4 parts before, and I've taken 2 parts away. What would you call that? Who is going to answer that for me?
I.
no.
Okay, Ayo. How many parts do I have left in terms of fraction? Ayo, go ahead. You are unmuted. So
2/4.
2/4. That's nice. 2/4. Now, 2/4 also means half. Is that not it? It means I took away half. So 2/4 is the same thing as half. Now, if we now decide to, sorry, if we now decide to cut this into another half to make it 8. Do you have your slices there, your slice of bread? Can you take the second slice of bread?
You're not supposed to
Take the second slice of bread, please. Make sure you're muted. Have you taken the second slice of bread? I want you now to do it by yourself and show me the full slice of bread. Cut it to 2.
I was hearing everything.
Cut the 2 slices of bread into 2, please, and show me. Then you tell me what you have.
Cut the 2 slices in what, please?
The second slice of bread into 2.
Okay.
The second slice of bread, you were to come with 2 slices. So cut the second slice into 2. And then you have something like this, full 2. 1 here, 1 here. Then I want everybody to hold each one half and tell me what you are holding. We know that in terms of fraction, it is written like 1/2, 3/4, 2/3, and the rest of it. So now I want you to tell me, I'm going to unmute somebody, Akiolu. I'm going to unmute you and you tell me what you have. Akiolu.
1/2.
Where is it? Show me. Show me.
No, with it.
Okay, but what I'm holding is what? What I'm holding is what?
Bread.
Yes, I know it's bread. How many portions am I holding? I had 2. I have 2. Okay. I have a whole portion here. That's one whole portion, for instance. And I'm holding one of the parts here.
Excuse me, ma.
Am I holding
Teacher.
one out of what?
Are you a music teacher? She knows.
One out of what? I have two here, and I decide to only keep one up. 1 out of 2. Is that right?
What is she holding? 1 over.
1 over.
Over 2. Before the classes started, I said that there is something in fraction. We have 1 over 2, 2 over 3, 4 over 5, and all that. The one on top is called the numerator, because that is the one you're working with. And the one under is called the denominator. That is what the full portions that you have. So for instance, the full portion I have now is 2, and I'm holding 1. So in terms of fraction, you call it 1 out of 2. Now, if I have 4 pieces, 4 parts, and I take 1 away, you will say I took 1 out of 4 parts away. And if I ask you how many parts do I have left, you would say I have 3 out of 4 parts. Now, like I said, I tell you a little bit about myself once again. For people who just joined us, I worked from home. I'll say I was a housewife for 13 years. My name is Mrs. Adeshola Oyiloye Undu. And in the process, I learned how to homeschool the children. Normally, outside the country, they learn by application. Unlike Nigeria, when I was growing up, your teacher just come to the class and say 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2 equals to 2 over 2 over 2, which is a whole fraction. But when the children were growing up, we had to teach them practically. And what we used that time was PISA. So I'm going to share my screen, and at the same time, I'm going to explain the screen to everyone. We've done it with our hands. We've used the bread to show 1 over 2, 3 over 4, and all that. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to teach fractions from here. Can we all see my screen? Now you can unmute if you're not going to make noise, because I want to hear you speak. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What do you have on my screen? What do you have on my screen?
It's a pizza.
Pizza, all pizza.
That's pizza.
Yes, that's one big old pizza, isn't it?
Yes.
If I want to talk about this pizza, for instance, I'll say I have one whole pizza. I'm going to start dividing the pizza into parts, just like we divided the bread into parts as well. So you're going to see that. This is an old pizza. Now, what do you see about the pizza now? It's divided into
half. It's divided into 2 parts.
So if I decide to take 1 away, how many would you say I've taken from this? In terms of
half parts.
In terms of fraction, 1 out of 2.
1 out of 2.
1 out of 2. Now, I'm going to call you another one. We call these quarters.
Yes, ma'am.
How many pieces can you see there?
4 quarters.
What?
4 pieces, ma'am.
Pieces. And each of the pieces is called what?
1 out of 4.
1 out of 4, which is 1 quarter. Each of the pieces is called 1 quarter. Now,
That's not how to do it. If you want to raise up your hand, you do like this. You go to more.
now,
You go to more. You raise up your hand. You do.
I'm going here again. Can you see? Ayo is raising up her hands. I'm coming here. I'm coming. Can you see the pizza again?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see that
Yes, ma'am.
one part of it is white, has been blocked, and the other part of it is really, really clear? Can you see it? Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That part that is blocked, if I say in terms of fraction, how would you call it? You say, if I say blocked, it is called what?
Half.
If you don't want to use half, you will say
1 over 2.
1
out of 2. You will say 1 out of 2 has been blocked off. Do you understand that? Because the
Yes, ma'am.
divided into 2 before. So if you want to now say that, you say 1 out of 2 has been blocked off. We are now going to talk about now we're going to talk, now what do you see in terms of fraction? How many has been blocked off? Angel, can you tell me how many has been blocked off? Angel, Angel, can you tell me how many has been blocked off?
She's not doing anything.
Who is Ayo now? Ayo? Okay, I'm just going to call on anybody now. Who is Ruby? Who is Ruby?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you see the pizza?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, can you see that one has been blocked off out of four parts? So in fraction, if I ask you how many parts or how many pieces or how many pieces is blocked off, what would you say?
One
piece. One piece has been blocked off out of 4 pieces. Is that right? So if you're talking in terms of fraction now, you will say 1 piece is blocked off out of 4. Now, if I want to ask you that, how many pieces do you have left? What would you say? I'm going to call on. I'm going to call on Ruby still. Sorry? I'm going to call on Ruby still. How many parts do you have left? Or whoever wants to answer, just raise up your hand. And I'll tell you to unmute. Ayo, raise up your hand. Okay, Ayo. Unmute yourself. How many pieces do I have left?
Out of 4.
3
out of 4.
Yes.
3 out of 4.
Let us just remind ourselves that the one on top is what you're working with, and the one under is the one which the pizza has been divided into. So when we talk of fraction, we are talking about a fraction being a part of a whole. You know, remember at the beginning we started with the whole pizza, and we've been dividing the pizza into parts. Now at the moment we are taking 1 out of 4 pieces, which is blocked. The other pieces that are not blocked are called 3 out of 4 pieces. So if I ask you, for instance, how many pieces are not blocked, you just tell me 3 out of 4 pieces. Now, remember we did half. We did half before. So if I say half is the same thing as 2 over 4. 2 over 4. So if I do this, you can see that 2 out of 4 pieces has been blocked off. 2 out of 4 pieces have been blocked off. So how would you call that? If you don't want to say 2 out of 4, what will you call it? What will you call it?
2 out of 2.
2
Out of 1.
No, there are, how many pieces did we have
4.
before? We had 4 pieces.
2 out of 4.
So 2 out of 4
Out
have
of
been blocked off.
Out of 4.
And then we have 2 out of
2
4.
out of 4. 2 out of 4.
Yes. So 2 out of 4. And 2 out of 4 is the same thing as half in this instance. 2 out of 4 is the same thing as half. You can see that is half of the pizza, just like the way we cut our bread into half, 2 halves before. Another one now is, what will you call this? We just cut off something. What will you call it? Sorry? Let me go back. As you will see, who can tell me the one that is not blocked off? How many pieces? How many pieces is not blocked off?
1.
1.
What?
Out of 4.
1 out of 4. So in fraction, when you're talking, you say 1 out of 4 has not been blocked out. Of course, we know that the other parts of it have been blocked off. So we're going to see, you know, I told you before that if you have 2 halves, one of them is called half. We had 4 pieces before, and then we blocked half of it. So the other part that is not blocked out is the half of it. Do you remember? Do you remember?
Yes.
So we had 4
Yes.
parts we divided the pizza into 4, and we blocked 2, leaving 2. I told you before that 2 out of 4 is the same thing as half. Yes or no?
Half of the pizza has
Yes.
and simple.
Ma.
How many more people like pizza?
Over listeners.
How many more people like pizza? I'm going to unshare my screen now, and we're going to learn how to add similar types of fraction. We call them the like. We call it like fractions. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Now, do we still have our slices, our bread slices here?
No.
Do we still have our bread, our slices of bread, or we've eaten
Yeah.
them?
We have eaten them. Oh. We
Yeah.
have eaten them.
Okay. Do we have
It's
our
finished.
Do we have our pen and paper here? Pen and pencils. I mean, pen and pencils and paper.
Yes.
I'll give you 2 minutes.
Yes.
Look for pencil and paper. Because we've eaten our slices of bread. So we're going to learn how to add fractions up in a very simple way. How many people have done fractions at school before? Raise up your hand from your screen. If you've done fractions at school, okay, I can see 2 hands up. Have you done fractions before?
Yes.
Let me see your hands up if you've done fractions at school before.
Mommy, should I just chat?
Okay. I think at the moment, while we're trying to wait for everybody, we should introduce ourselves. While we're trying to wait for others who do not have their paper and pencil here, let us introduce ourselves and tell, I will unmute you when you have to talk. I will unmute you when you have to talk, and then you introduce yourself, okay? I will ask you to unmute, so you will see that I'm asking you to unmute. Then you can now introduce yourself.
Okay, ma'am.
Hold on.
Sit down.
I've muted everybody now. Please be on mute. When I want you to talk, I will ask you to unmute. You will see that I'm asking you to unmute. So there's somebody here. What I can see is Techno Pouvoir 3A. You're wearing blue. Okay, please tell us your name and your school.
My name is Jude Andy. I am 8 years old. The name of
Now, if you all have your pen and paper, please can you write for me 1/2? Or if you have pencil and paper, either pencil and paper or pen and paper, write for me. We're going to do some mental maths now. Mental maths is what we call like fractions. Fractions that look alike. So we're going to do mental maths with what we call like fractions. So write 1/2 plus 1/2. One over 2 plus 1/2. Do you know why we call that like fractions? Is there anybody who knows it? Just raise up your hand and I'll call you. I have Tamilore. Can you unmute yourself and tell me why it is like fraction, 1/2?
It is called like fraction because 1/2, because of there's 2 1/2s.
Yes. Now, it is like fraction. Let me give you another instance here. 1/4 plus 1 plus 2/4. 1/4 plus 2/4. Tamilore gave us a good answer there. I want somebody to also give me another good answer. 1/4 plus 2/4. I have David Mensah and Angel. Whoever talks first. Why is 1/4, 2/4 like fractions? We call them like fractions.
They are like fractions because 1/4 and 2/4 have the same denominator.
Excellent. Please clap for her. You should also clap for Tamilore as well. She did excellently well. Now, 1/4 and 2/4, they have the same denominator, which is what? I want somebody else to tell me what that denominator is. Tamilore is raising up her hand again. Tell me what the denominator is.
4.
4. Excellent, excellent, excellent. That's Unwaroro Chisom, am I right? Now, this type of fraction, we call it like fractions. They are like fractions because they have the same denominator. Do you know that in mental maths, this type of fraction, they are the easiest fraction to add together? Do you know that? So if I say 1/4 plus 2/4, and you don't want to work it on your answer sheets, you want to tell me using mental maths, what will be the answer? 1/4 plus 2. Do you know how to get that? Okay, I'm going to teach you a very shortcut to that. For the fractions that are like fractions, that is, they have the same denominator. When you're adding, what you do is you're going to only add the numerators. So if I say 1/4 plus 2/4, offhand you just tell me the answer is 3/4. Angel is raising up her hand. Let me see. Do you have any question to ask me?
I don't have any question.
Okay, so do we all understand that now? It's a shortcut into doing fractions, additional fractions.
What you do like this?
When you have the same denominator. So 1/4 plus 2/4 will give you 3/4. Okay, all you need to do is just add 1 plus 2 and retain the denominator. Can I give you some sums now and ask some people to answer that for me?
Yes, ma.
Okay. So, for instance, if we now want to talk in terms of 8, we've talked about half, 1/4. We talked about dividing our bread into 4. Now, what if we've divided our bread into 8 parts? If we've divided our bread into 8 parts, so I want you to do this fraction for me without adding. Just write it down and tell me the answer. 3/8 plus 2/8. Who is going to give me the answer? Yes.
5/8.
Sorry?
5/8.
5/8.
How did you get 5/8?
You plus 3 numerators.
5/8.
Yes, how did you get 5/8?
You plus the numerator.
Plus 2 and the denominator.
Okay, so what we did in that is that because they are like fractions, their denominator is the same. 8 is the
I want to do math.
is to add the numerator together. That's 3/8 plus 2/8. So you add 3 and 2 together. That gives you 5, and you retain 8. Do we all get that? Is there anyone who is not clear and wants me to explain further? I can't hear you. I want to assume everybody is happy. If you want me to explain further, let me know. The same way you will do with subtraction of fractions that we call the like fractions. Fractions with the same denominator. So for instance, if I tell you 5.
Yes, ma'am.
If I tell you 5/8.
Yes, ma'am.
2/8.
Continue.
What will be your answer offhand?
Ma, please take the question again.
5/8. Take away 2/8. Benga, I'm going to unmute you. Benga Adams. Yes, Benga, please can you 5/8 take away 2/8. What will be your answer from what we just learned?
3/8.
3/8. So that's a very easy way of learning fractions, addition and subtraction when you have like fractions. That is, their denominator is the same. Like Tamilore said, he said that 1 and 1 plus 1/2, that they are like fractions. I mean, 1/2 plus 1/2, they are like fractions because they have 2 at the bottom. The same thing, Angel also said that 1/4 plus 3/4, they are like fractions because they have 4 as their denominator. So when you have like terms like that, the same denominator, we call them like fractions. And so when your school, they ask you to add those fractions together, just quickly add only the numerator and retain the denominator. I can see some people are raising their hands. Mary, you have a question, you can unmute. I will still go to Joy Kuye. Okay, Mary. No, wait, you are not, you need to unmute. Okay, Joy Kuye, Mary, I couldn't get you to unmute, and I saw your hand is raised up. Okay, Mary, can you, Mary?
Oh, that's hold on. It's in your ear. Oh, yeah, talk. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mary. So you raised up your hand. Do you have questions for me? Do you have questions for me?
Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon. I think I lost Mary there. Oh dear. Mary, do you have any question for me? It looks like, okay, I think I lost you.
What are you asking?
Okay, that's fine. Now, Bikuyes, I can see that you also you raised up your hand. What are your questions?